The Viking Age, though brief, imprinted a distinct legacy on history. Hailing from Scandinavia, the warriors, raiders, pirates, seafarers, and traders reshaped the destinies of numerous regions, none more profoundly than the British Isles. With the departure of the Romans from Britain in the 5th century, a tapestry of Brittonic and Romano-Brittonic kingdoms emerged, innovating incursions from neighboring warlike peoples. The Picts surged from beyond Hadrian's Wall. Irish warriors encroached from the west, while Angles, Saxons, Jutes, and Frisians migrated from mainland Europe to the east of the island. These incoming warriors' cultures supplanted the Romano-Britons and Britons the eastern territories by the late 7th century, establishing 7 distinct kingdoms: Wessex, Mercia, Northumbria, East Anglia, Kent, Sussex, and Essex. Despite eventual conversion to Christianity, this kingdom retained their martial fervor, engaging in persistent conflicts among themselves and with indigenous populations. Across the North Sea, a parallel martial culture evolved over centuries in Scandinavia, amidst the icy fjords of Norway and the Danish islands. Descendants of the Anglo-Saxons, these pagans prioritized military prowess and maritime prowess, pressured by various factors including Frankish incursions and advancements in shipbuilding. They turned their gaze outward from Scandinavia in the late 8th century. Soon, the dragon-headed longships of these opportunistic Scandinavians appeared off the British shores. They would come to be known as Vikings, a term denoting their profession as pirates rather than their ethnic identity. Much to the dismay of contemporary Christian scholars, who were predominantly monks, the Vikings targeted Christian holy sites for their lucrative spoils, raiding extensively across northern Britain and Ireland. Their raids were not limited to Christian establishments. The Vikings faced assaults not only from the English, who were the most formidable adversaries, but also from the Britons, who held significant power. Nevertheless, their strategies began to evolve. Some of the boldest Vikings chose to winter within Britain, while settlers from Norway started to supplant or subject the indigenous populations in the Faroe Islands, Orkney, Shetland, and parts of Ireland. Mercia's influence mounted in the early 9th century, giving way to Wessex under King Egbert, a saviour ruler educated in Francia. Familiar with the Viking tactics, Egbert engaged in several battles during his reign, notably at Carhampton in 836. He expanded his realm by conquering Essex, Sussex, and Kent, solidifying Wessex as a dominant power in 865. Ethelred ascended to the throne of Wessex, coinciding with the arrival of a massive fleet of longships off to East Anglian coast near Thetford. This assembly, known as a Great Heathen Army, comprised hundreds of vessels carrying a multinational force of Danes, Norsemen, and Swedes from Ireland, Frisia, Francia, Scandinavia, and Pitchland, intent on invading the Anglo-Saxon realms, initially led by 3 warlords said to be the sons of legendary Ragnar Lodbrok, Ivar Halfdan, and Obed. Their purported motive was to avenge their father's death at the hands of the Northumbria King Aelle. However, it's equally plausible that the invasion was a culmination of years of raids by ambitious warriors seeking to establish their own kingdoms. Upon landing in East Anglia, they coerced King Edmund into providing them with horses and provisions before advancing north to seize York, the capital of Northumbria. Following the battle, Northumbria would emerge as a stronghold of a Scandinavian culture for the ensuing 2 centuries, subsequent to their pillaging of Northumbria. The army continued their march, likely bolstering their ranks with recruits from across the Scandinavian realm as word spread of their triumphs. Advancing northward into Mercia, they seized control of Nottingham. King Burgerd of Mercia railed for assistance, answered by Wessex, but confrontation was averted as Ivar and his forces remained entrenched within Nottingham's walls. Only upon payment by Burgard did the Vikings depart, prompting the Mercian and West Saxon forces, largely comprised of farmers, to disband and tend to their fields. Content to accept Mercian coin, the Vikings retreated to York, Winter, considerably enriched. Honoring their agreement with Burgard, the son of Lodbrok returned to East Anglia in the following year, eradicating the kingdom and immortalizing its king, Edmund, as a martyr. East Anglia would mirror Northumbria's fate, serving as a Danish outpost for the ensuing 2 centuries. In 817, the army divided, with some remaining in Northumbria and East Anglia, while others, including Ivar, ventured somewhere in Britain to conquer new territories, such as the kingdom of Ashclod in southern Scotland. Halfdan assumed a prominent role at this juncture, leading a contingent of the army southward, bypassing Mercia entirely to raid deep into Wessex. Halfdan, alongside another chieftain named Bisig, fortified themselves in the town of Reading, anticipating a West Saxon counterattack. King Athler and his brother Alfred mustered their forces and assaulted Halfdan's position at Reading on January the 4th, suffering a minor setback. Regrouping over the ensuing days, the West Saxon clashed with the invaders once more on January 8th at Ashdown in Berkshire. It was on that misty midwinter morning at Ashdown where the decisive battle unfolded. Despite the ongoing war, Athler opted to split his army into 2 factions, positioning them on either side of a retreat. He took command of one side, while his younger brother Alfred led the other. The Danes, in a similar fashion, divided their forces with Halfdan and Bisig in charge of each faction. Alfred and his troops observed the advancing Danes from behind their shield wall, while Ethelred paused to engage in prayer before the battle commenced. Realizing that the Danes' movement threatened to navigate their advantage of higher ground, Alfred made the bold decision to charge uphill, leading his contingent into the heart of the Danish lines without waiting for the second force. The Danes, unaware that Alfred's men comprised only half of the West Saxon army, also advanced against them. Thus, the battle erupted into a grueling, protracted clash of shield walls. After hours of intense combat and heavy casualties on both sides, Ethelred's forces, shrouded in mist, finally joined the fray, catching the Danes by surprise and tripping the scales in favor of the West Saxon. Wessex fell in battle, prompting Halfdan to order a retreat, leaving the West Saxon victorious. This marked a significant turning point after 6 years of setbacks against the great heathen army. Although the Battle of Ashdown was not a definite victory and came at a high cost, it likely made Halfdan more cautious in his future endeavors in Wessex. Nevertheless, reinforcements arrived to bolster Halfdan's remaining warriors in Reading, led by the Sea King Guthrum, who would play a crucial role in ensuing years of conflict. Following Alfred's death, likely due to battle wounds, Alfred ascended to throne in April. Halfdan, weary of Wessex, accepted a sizable sum for Alfred in exchange for departing the region, while Guthrum headed east to seize control of the Vikings in East Anglia. Alfred had temporarily secured his kingdom, but the looming threat of Viking incursions remained.